Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a kind of heat proof, summer proof, holiday proof makeup tutorial. As you can probably tell, I've done nothing with my eyes, and I will tell you in a few minutes that I'm just not going to do anything because it's a skin focused video. So if you'd like to know my kind of little tips and my recommendations for some good heat proof products for the summer, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up and just keep watching. So I'm not really going to do anything with eyeshadow or anything like that because it's pretty much a skin based tutorial today. I've already done my eyebrows and I just popped on some eyebrow gel over top. I used the Elf one, and I feel like especially when it's hot, sometimes you sweat. Sticking some eyebrow gel on can help any products from moving around, sliding off. So like I said, I'm not really going to do anything with the eyes, so I'm just going to get straight into the skin. And it's as hot as it is right now in the UK, I always prep my skin before I do anything else by just adding a SPF. So I've been using the No7 Protect and Perfect Intense SPF. So it's a hypoallergenic one and it's got SPF 15. This from Boots, anywhere where they have No7. So I just pop this on. Then also, if you don't want to just use an SPF, using a moisturiser that's got an SPF in it obviously is going to do the same thing. I've also applied some lip balm. I use the Nivea Hydrocare lip balm. This is just my favourite lip balm ever. It just hydrates the lips so much, hence the name Hydrocare, and it's got SPF in it as well. So I always find when it's really hot, stick on some SPF on your lips as well, because you don't want to be having burnt lips. Probably the only place I've ever got burnt, because I don't burn very easily. Yeah, but I've had burnt lips before. Not nice. Then I would just add a moisturiser, but because the primer that I'm using is quite a hydrating and moisturising one, I just don't think I need a moisturiser on top of the SPF as well. So I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D Lock It Face Primer. This is one of my favourite primers of all time. It just keeps the makeup on so well, and like I said, it hydrates, it moisturises. I feel like it's just one of the best primers for the heat. I've been using this quite a lot. I like using more hydrating ones because I feel like my skin gets a bit more dried out obviously in the heat and stuff. So yeah, this is a really good one, and it literally does as it says. It locks on the makeup really well. So for foundation, I'm just going to be using the foundation that I've been using non-stop throughout the whole summer pretty much. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, and I chose to use this for this video because it's matte, but it has, well, it claims to have a 14-hour wear. It helps with a lot of oil control, and I believe that. The 14-hour I've never actually tested, but the oil control, and obviously it says photo friendly, which I agree, but mainly it's just, it controls all the oils, and I feel like when it's this hot, I feel like I get oily a lot more. Usually all over my face, it's usually just my T-zone, but yeah, this has just been such a good foundation for the summer. I've literally been obsessed with this. It's good for the heat, and I feel like it just stays in place really well, and it just, I don't know, it just gets on with usually any primers usually use on my skin. It just melts in really well and just fits in with literally anything that I use. Then for concealer, I feel like I love having a full coverage concealer. They're my favourite types to wear. So like the Shape Tape or the Revolution concealers, I really love using them. They're like my two favourite concealers ever. However, when it's really hot, I like to use a more lightweight and sheerer one. That way I feel like no matter how hot it gets, I feel like lighter concealers hold up better in the heat because they don't tend to break up. I'm not saying that those concealers do, but I feel like the more full coverage you wear, it's more likely to cause a problem on your face, like kind of crack up, because obviously you've got more on your face. So for that reason, I like using a more lightweight one. So I love this concealer right here. This is the L'Oreal True Match Concealer, and I use the shade Golden Honey. So yeah, this is one of my favorite drugstore concealers for sure. I love this stuff. And you know what, I know everybody always compares like the Maybelline Fit Me concealer to the NARS Radiant Creamy one. I think this is more like it than the Maybelline Fit Me one. Like, yeah, the packaging of the Maybelline one, it looks like the NARS one, so I feel like psychologically people thought that was just a dupe, but to be fair, I don't really like that Fit Me concealer. I feel like it's not got enough coverage, and I feel like this one is more similar to the NARS one because this has more coverage than the Maybelline one, and the NARS concealer does have a bit more coverage than that one as well. So yeah, I think this is more of a dupe than the Fit Me concealer. And to set that all in place, I feel like a powder is just something that everybody's kind of different with and they have different kind of opinions and views on. So I would just suggest using any loose or pressed powder that you're comfortable with. I have really been liking this Nabla powder, their close-up baking and setting powder. So I finally got the product to come out. I literally just bashed it, obviously with the lid closed, bashed it on the table and it just kind of shook up everything. I feel like because and it's not a bad thing to be fair, I feel like because they've filled the container up with so much powder, it doesn't kind of come through the sieve, which to be fair, I don't mind that because, you know, it shows that they actually put a lot of product in there. Not like the Beauty Bakery one, which they just put half a container in. But no shade because that's my favourite loose powder ever. It's now been copied, if anyone's seen, by the lovely Huda Beauty, who I don't like anymore. I don't know, I just feel like with all the stuff that's going on with her, like copying that powder and all that, I don't know, I just feel like I don't want to use her. Like, I love her palettes, like her minis I really love, and even the Desert Dusk palette, I'm obsessed with it, but now I'm just like, do I really want to use it? Because that Beauty Bakery setting powder, the flower powder, it's my favourite, it's my holy grail. I've stole that whole concept and the idea. I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. Anyway, back to the powder I'm actually going to use. I'm taking the Nabla powder on a e.l.f., I think it's a setting brush or a blush brush, I have no idea. And I'm just going to pack this under my eyes. On where I usually get oily throughout the day, so I do my T-zone area of course, especially like my cheek area here, and then I just apply a small amount here to just help with the blending of bronzer. Obviously this step I feel like you can skip out because like foundation is obviously a matte foundation, but I would also, most of the time, I would then go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I'll just show you, like it's not going to make much of a difference. I'll just use a setting brush and just really push this just into the cheek area because this is where my oil comes through the most, so I would just pack it in there and just anywhere else I feel I need a bit of extra. Move on to kind of bronzer and contour. I picked out two different options. One is a palette and then I picked out a single bronzer as well. I don't think there is even such thing as a heat proof bronzer, but I just picked out really long lasting bronzers. So for the palette I picked out the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is just one of my faves. I love this palette so much, it's so good. But obviously it's quite expensive because it's Kat Von D and it's a whole palette as well. But I would usually use this to bronze with and then usually mix depending on kind of how dark I am. So in the summer I'd mix in a tiny bit of this shade, or then I would mix in this to contour with if I'm, you know, a bit lighter. And what I'm going to use today is my favourite bronzer of all time, which is the Elcie Cosmetics bronzer, and this is the medium shade. This I picked out because it's just the most long-lasting bronzer that I own, and it's so creamy, it's so soft. I love the shade, it contours, it bronzes, you look sun-kissed, and it also lasts forever on the skin. I love it. Y'all know it's scratched off, but best bronzer ever. I can see the outline of the pan on this guy, that's how much I've used it. Use my NYX contour brush with this today. I feel like I haven't used this bronzer in so long. Ooh, see what I mean? gonna switch over to my favourite Autograph bronzer brush, and I'm just gonna take this round the tops of the forehead, just to bronze up there. I can't with this bronzer, I love it so much. If I could use this just non-stop for the rest of my life, I so would, but for the sake of having a YouTube channel, obviously I'm not going to, but oh my god, I'm obsessed. Blush, for me, again, I just picked out the most long lasting, so I picked out my favourite blush again. This is by MAC, it's their Peaches blush. This just lasts really long on my skin, and it's my favourite blush ever. So I'm obsessed with it. I was going to use my Too Faced Sweethearts one, but I feel like I've been using that on all the time, so I decided to use good old Peaches. A really good long-lasting highlight is, again, my holy grail, which is the Anastasia Amrezy highlight. That lasts forever on the skin, so that's a really good one. Any Skin Frost by Jeffree Star, they last forever on the skin also. But I wanted to use one that's really, really long-lasting as well. Also one of my favourites, it's in a palette and it's more affordable than both of those, I think. So this is by Pure Cosmetics and it's the highlight palette. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? I was obsessed with this a few months ago. I got it out again and I used it the other day, and then I realised I was obsessed with it because it's amazing, seriously. So I usually just mix literally all the shades together except from this one because it's a bit pinky toned. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna mix like everything together and just whack that on my face. So like I said, I'm not going to do anything with the eyes. I'm not even going to put mascara on. So yeah, move on to setting the face. So I obviously always just refresh my face and just kind of help all the powderiness kind of melt together just by using a face mist. So I'm going to take the Badescu Cucumber and Aloe Green Tea Facial Spray. Spray that I've just been using so much that if you watch my favourites video you'll know what it is, but I've been using this in the heat the most, and it's the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This is a good spray. Also the Urban Decay All Nighter, Milani Make It Last, you know the drill. And that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up and also make sure that you are subscribed as well so you don't miss any videos from me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!